I did have 12 businesses that didn't work out. And then I did have the one that really worked out very, very quickly. And then I lost my money. And then I recognized why I lost it. And now I've been able to correct that. And now I've been able to not only do extremely, extremely well in business, but finances as well. And of course, I've done extremely well. So, and I've never been close to losing anything again. So I actually have both sides. And what happened for me was that you're right. I mean, after 12 businesses of being broke for more than a decade, like really broke, where I had to struggle to many, many nights, I would have to choose between putting $5 of gasoline, petrol in my car, or eating dinner that night. And many, many nights I had to choose the gasoline for the next day. And so literally, I never went bankrupt, but I know what hunger is. I can tell you that, not in a facetious way, but I know going to sleep hungry was not new for me. Really trying, you think you're a decent person. I read every book, I listened to all the tapes, I went to all the seminars. I mean, I was really on it. I thought I worked hard and everything, but it just wasn't working out. First of all, I'm very famous for saying, don't believe a word I say. So, just take it as my own experience and do whatever you want with it. I'm not here to change anything, change your mind, be right, say what I do is right. At the same time, I was really broke. Now I'm really rich. There's some major differences that happened. And one of them was that I had a belief that if you were in the right business at the right time, you would get rich. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people believe that. And I totally believe that with every ounce of soul in my body and my mind and my everything, that if you got in the right business at the right time, you could get rich, okay? And I did that 12 times. And I was actually very good at finding hot new businesses. In fact, that was the first course I ever taught. And so I knew, I could smell what a good opportunity was. And it was mind-boggling to me as to why is it not working for me? I saw other people making money, and I always had a reason as to why. Wrong partner, wrong city, wrong whatever it was. It was wrong. Until what happened one day, Joel, was a friend of mine phones me up and he says, I am in the greatest business of all time. It's right on trend. I'm making a fortune right now. I am making close to $20,000 a month. It wasn't network marketing or anything. I'm going, oh my God. In those days, like 10,000 would be ridiculous. And I said, what are you doing? And he told me what he's doing. And he said, this is the hottest business right now. You got to get into it. I said, you're right. I'm doing it. So I started it. And 6 months later, he was a multimillionaire. He started with nothing, just like me. 6 months later, he was a multimillionaire already. And me, I was still broke. And I looked in the mirror that day, changed my life. And I said, oh my God, maybe it's not the business. Maybe it's me. And my heart just sank. And I realized right there, this flash of brilliance, everyone else had this brilliance, but me, came into my view. And I said, you know what? It's not just the race car, it's the driver too. And maybe I'm not a very good driver. And it pained me to say that. It was so brutal. But I started looking and focusing on me, my habits, my character, my mindset, my own productivity. And man, did I ever start seeing some lack there, which I never noticed before. And then I started working on me heavily. Not just my knowledge, my skills, but me as a person. And I'll tell you what, once I started getting me, the driver, in shape, mentally and emotionally, and my mindset correct, and my character correct, then the next business, even though I had some principles that started working really well, boom, in 2.5 years I became a millionaire, and I learned a very, very hard lesson. But one of the biggest things is, if people have a chance to have a pencil in hand, or they can just visualize a triangle, an upside down triangle, I would like everybody to understand this. On the left hand corner, I want you to put RV, and that stands for right vehicle, the right time. And on the top right hand corner, I want you to put RK, And that stands for right knowledge and right skills. And on the very bottom, though, the very bottom point, I want you to put RY, and that stands for right you. And I'm going to tell you this, everyone makes success and business so complicated. Remember, I told you, I went to all the seminars, all the books, all that blah, blah. Nothing worked for me. So the thing that I think people seem to relate with me is that I didn't finish college because I was too in a hurry to get rich. And I don't have the greatest vocabulary in the entire world. And I keep it pretty simple, but you know what? I like simple because for me, I can't understand it when it's complicated. And for me, simple is usable and interesting is, and complicated is interesting. And I'd rather have usable than interesting any day of the week. So there's only 3 elements, everyone, that you need to understand for success. 3, not 20 and not 15 and not 1. There's 3. And I just gave you the 3. These are the 3 things that have to be in place, okay? You have to have the right vehicle at the right time. If you've got a dog vehicle, if you've got you're in a jalopy business, something that's going downhill versus everything going uphill, the trends are not with it, et cetera, it's not in high demand, you're going to struggle. You'll make it, but you'll struggle, okay? If you've got the right vehicle, you still have to have the right knowledge. There's 2 types of knowledge, everyone. Please listen. You have to have generalized business knowledge if you're doing business. Generalized business knowledge, which means knowledge about business in general. So if you talk about negotiations, that's general business knowledge. Finance, how you do the financing, marketing, that's all primarily generalized business knowledge. You have to have that. But you also have to have specific business knowledge. And that means the knowledge specifically of the business that you're going into and that you're involved in. And what I like to tell people is, if at all possible, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go work for somebody in the business that you're thinking of getting into before you get into it. So what that means is you have to have knowledge, you have to have business knowledge, generalized business knowledge. You have to be a hot marketer, you have to be a hot negotiator, you have to understand finance and how to read the books, et cetera, okay? And you have to have business specific knowledge. All right, I'm in the training business. And people say that, hey, what do you have to know for training, for speaking? Well, you have to be a strong trainer. I happen to be, humbly, hopefully, one of the top accelerated learning trainers in the world. I use a very specific technique. I got taught this 28 years ago, and I've taught over 45,000 other people how to use this methodology. But it's a way that allows you to learn faster, remember more, and have a much more enjoyable experience. And so very few people use this except for the people that we taught. So literally, that's a business specific thing. Now the last of the 3. So I got right vehicle, the right knowledge, and you got to have the right you. If you don't have a mindset that is set for success, you're done. It's over. If you don't have the character that it will support success, it's over. And if you don't have habits that will support success, it's over. It doesn't matter if you're driving a race car and you know everything about how to drive. But if your habits and your mindset and your character is not up to snuff, you'll never make it. And if you do, you'll struggle like crazy. However, if you put those 3 things together, and the base of that is the right you. Remember, I want to say this, write this down if you can. Otherwise, memorize it, okay? You are the root of your success. That's why you're on the point at the bottom. You are the root of your success. If you take the right you out of there, it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you make any money, you'll blow it quickly. If you have a huge success, you'll lose it quickly. You've got to have all those 3 things in place. And if you skimp on any of them, you're going to struggle. If you put attention on all those 3 areas, you will succeed. You have to. Let me give you a quick example of why you are guaranteed, promised to succeed if you put all those 3 things in place. I mean, you will succeed. You will be rich. Okay? You go, that's impossible to promise. Really? Okay, so you've got the right business at the right time. You have all the business knowledge, and you have the right business specific knowledge. So you know everything you need to know about your business and business in general. Okay? Now, what would stop you from succeeding? Who knows? Yeah, it could be an earthquake. It could be your partner stole from you. It could be a lot of crazy ass things that could happen, right? You say, you're not guaranteed to succeed. Yes, but you've got the character, and that character will never, ever, ever give up. Never. We believe in something I teach called correct and continue. There's a problem, you just make a correction and you continue. And you never, ever, ever give up. There's another philosophy I teach, it's called learn and do. Again, the only two key elements as far as success. You learn something and then you put it into practice. You learn more, you put that into practice. You learn more, you put that into practice. See, nobody comes out of the womb being successful, okay? Everybody, I always say in my books, every master was once a disaster, right? Everybody who's great at something now was once terrible at it, weren't they? Right? Even the Olympic skier, when the first day they put on skis, they fell all over the place, right? So everybody was terrible, but they learned and then they put it into practice. Learn, do, learn, do, learn, do. If you add one more thing to that, which is you keep on doing that until you succeed. You never give up. You will succeed. Nothing will stop you.